Every woman in my fiance's family has the same dead eyes. Now I know why. The first time I visited my fiance Whit's family compound, I noticed the women all moved the same way, and smiled the same way, and spoke in the same soft voice. I asked Whit about it on the drive home, and he laughed and said, "That's just how they are. Old-fashioned family." But I couldn't stop thinking about it. I'd asked his Aunt Colleen where she was from, and she'd hesitated for way too long before saying, "Here, I've always been here." I'd asked another aunt about her maiden name, and she'd looked at Whit like she needed permission to answer. That night, I started digging. I searched for marriage records for Whit's uncles and found their wives' maiden names, and then I searched those names and found nothing. No social media, no school records, no trace of any of them existing before they married into the Bellamy family. I told myself there had to be an explanation, and I searched deeper. I found an article from 1987 about a missing woman named Patricia Vance, and the photo looked exactly like Whit's Aunt Colleen. I found another article from 1996 about a woman named Dina Shelby who disappeared after meeting a man at a bar, and she looked exactly like Whit's Aunt Margot. I found 6 more matches, 8 women who went missing over 40 years, and 8 women who looked exactly like the women living on that compound, with dead eyes and soft voices, and no memories of who they used to be. I called in sick to work for 3 days, and built a case file with everything I could find. I found the missing persons reports and the families who were still looking, and a retired detective who'd spent 20 years trying to prove the Bellamys were involved in disappearances, but could never get a warrant. The compound is like a fortress, he told me over the phone. No one gets in or out without them knowing. If you have a way inside, you might be the only chance those women ever have. My engagement party was in 4 days. I called the FBI and told them everything I'd found, and told them I was supposed to be on that compound in 4 days, surrounded by the entire family. They said they'd been building a case against the Bellamys for years, but never had anyone on the inside willing to cooperate. They asked if I'd be willing to wear a wire. I said absolutely. The night of the engagement party, I walked onto that compound with a recording device taped under my dress and a GPS tracker in my shoe and 12 federal agents waiting 2 miles down the road for my signal. Whit hugged me and said, "I'm so glad you're finally here. After tonight, you'll officially be part of this family forever." I smiled and said, "I can't wait." His mother handed me a glass of champagne and said, "To the newest Bellamy," and I pretended to drink but poured it into a plant when she turned away, because I'd read about how they drugged the women to make them compliant. I found Aunt Colleen standing alone by the window and said quietly, "Patricia." She froze completely. "I don't know what you're talking about." "Patricia Vance, that's your real name. You went missing in 1987 and your sister Donna is still looking for you." Tears started streaming down her face, but she didn't make a single sound. "I'm getting you out of here tonight," I whispered. "All of you. I just need you to tell me where they keep the keys to the gate." She stared at me for a long moment and then whispered, "His mother keeps them in her right pocket. But you don't understand what they'll do to you if they find out. They'll never let you leave this place. They don't have a choice." I walked up to Whit and said, "I need to talk to you alone, right now." He smiled and led me toward the back of the house, and as soon as we were alone, I said, "I know what you do to women here. I know about Patricia and Dina and all of them, and I know you were planning to do the same thing to me." His face changed into something I'd never seen before. "Who told you that?" "It doesn't matter because I'm wearing a wire and the FBI is listening to every single word you say." He lunged at me, and I screamed the safe word, and the next 30 seconds were complete chaos. Agents crashed through windows and doors. Whit's uncles tried to run, but there was nowhere to go. Whit's mother pulled out a syringe, and an agent tackled her before she could use it. Whit had his hands around my throat when 2 agents ripped him off me and slammed him into the floor. I stood over him while he was gasping and said, "You picked the wrong woman." The FBI found 14 women on that compound, and 8 of them had been missing for over a decade. Patricia Vance reunited with her sister Donna for the first time in 37 years. Every Bellamy man is serving life without parole, and I testified at every single one of their trials.